Welcome to the CFG Gamecast episode number 15, a weekly podcast created by gamers and streamers alike to discuss the latest gaming topics from the previous week. We stream a new episode on Saturdays and we release of podcast services like Apple and Google Podcasts, Stitcher Radio, and Podbean. So show us some love and follow us on our Twitch channels to not miss an episode. You can check out Smitty as always on Smitty2447. Go check out Sesh's awesome stuff at Review Sesh, and you can also check out Mr. CFG himself, CFG Games. I am Davis Green, and with me, as always, are a group of fellow awesome gamers. I have the Metal Gear Solid master, finally, the master of masters, aka the Backlog Queen. I got Sesh Evans on the second mic. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. A dog bumped into me today, jumped up, and so I cut my lip on my own teeth. But besides that, doing well. I'm still amped up. I'm still campaigning for my Metal Gear Solid short, which is why he brought that up so I could plug it, because I am crowdfunding for that.
Oh yeah, I was wanting to plug it because I have mad respect of the DARPA chief. You know it too. even though he has never been saved.
I mean, is it spoilers? Can I say we
never
actually met the DARPA chief? Yet we all love him. DARPA chief.
That's awesome.
Yes, there's two parts of that: the DARPA chief, and then they just randomly in Metal Gear Solid 2, they just a serious moment, and they're like, the Lolly Lule Low, and I'm like, what the heck is that? Who brings that up?
That's the next game I'm going to be playing. So I'm going to get all into the Lolly Luli Low phase of this series. And I'm excited. I haven't played it really since it came out, with the same with all of them. So it's been quite a few years.
Oh, yeah. See, that would be great. And the biggest problem, it's like, can you just imagine that conversation is like, we need to make an organization, a quiet organization that goes in the shadows, but we need to make it a very fearful name. I know, the Lale Lule Low. And I'm like, I'm just drunk.
Patriots. Yes. If you want to, I could plug my is it Indiegogo I'm doing. I could plug that into the chat. I know that doesn't help podcast people, but it could help the other people.
Well, we can plug it in the chat. But then again, but while you do that, I will also introduce the 5-star general of the Itty Bitty Smitty Committee. I got Smitty on the third seat. How are you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing well, my friend. It's been, again, something I'm going to talk about, and this is a little preview. And we talked about it last time. I've been playing that game, Gold Express. They've got another beta weekend going on right now. I'm really enjoying it. I think it's a game that a lot of people enjoy, so I'm excited to talk about it. Other than that, man, had a big meeting this weekend, this week. Hence why I shaved my beard. I had to look presentable, but so I think that went pretty well. So I'm waiting to hear back on that stuff. I'm actually going to New York next weekend, so I'm excited about that. So got a lot going on, but enjoying it, getting some games in. I've been playing a lot of Borderlands 2 with Irma Gerd. So we've almost finished that. We're looking to beat that this weekend, and then maybe get into some of the DLC stuff. So that's exciting. But yeah, things are going pretty well.
I didn't know you were playing Borderlands 2. I would have been playing with you, dude.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy. Probably within the last week and a half, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna play it. Get back on it. And then her and she basically carried me. But I was leveling so fast. It's like I got up to I'm at level. I'm only 25 right now, but I'm close to finishing the story. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. I see the love now for Borderlands. I had a hard time really getting into it, but now that I've gotten into it, I'm like, yeah, dude, this game is. I'm like, I'm gonna go back. I'll go back and play the original, and then when 3 comes out and all that stuff. So exciting stuff. Yeah. What about you, man? What's been on your agenda?
Oh man, well, I've been doing a lot of constant editing right now. We the website confreaksandgeeks.com. That's a shameless plug. We are currently doing coverage over at San Diego Comic-Con right now. So we've been doing some crazy interviews. Actually, it's actually pretty cool. We got what's it called? We talked to Kevin. What's his name? The voice of Batman. Kevin Conroy. Yeah, we talked to Kevin Conroy.
Sweet.
Yeah. Then we also talked to Will Friedle, the older brother from Boy Meets World. Yeah, because of because it's the 20th anniversary of the Batman Beyond, and I was like, dang, it's
Wow.
been 20 years. Yeah,
Wow.
so then like in 2 months they're going to be releasing the whole series in a Blu-ray box set. So they've been hyping it up and stuff. So yeah, then I think we were talking to Jeffrey Dean Morgan and Norman Reedus yesterday. So that is so I've been so
Oh,
busy.
Doing things and
I've been
stuff.
so busy just doing things, exactly. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks though, when I come out there, actually I come out to Vegas, and not this weekend, but not this following weekend, but the weekend after. So
Right.
is that
after all
Evo?
that, yeah, it's Evo. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are
after
both
all
going to be out
that,
here, right?
yeah, we're gonna be both out there, I
I
believe. Are you
I
going to Evo still?
I don't think I am. I might change my
Oh,
mind with it. There's no melee. There's no melee.
yeah.
Oh god.
So
Then
like
play the
more
new
than
one.
half of the people actually I do okay and I do love the new one and all of that, but it's like I go to Vegas and I go to the tournaments to hang out with my friends mostly, so a lot of them are just not going to be there, which is really unfortunate. So it makes the trip really hard for me to go to when it's like about 60% of the people I actually hang out with aren't going to go there, and a lot
Right.
of
Oh
people that are
god,
going to
yeah.
be there are ones that are basically locals here.
Oh, take
Mhm.
it easy.
So the ones that I'm friends with, yeah. So I'm still waiting for the job to be permanent, and then I'll be spending the money. I'm pretty sure TwitchCon's just going to be my next one.
Right.
Oh boy, yeah. Yeah, when's TwitchCon? September? Late September, I believe.
Late
Late
Yeah,
September.
the
September.
week
I literally just bought my tickets, and we'll talk more about that later because housing.
before. All right. Alrighty, so let's go. Let's get into it right now. Let me put on my spiel. If I can find my spiel. Here we go. All right. Each of us picks a new topic of discussion within video games from the previous week. The topic would or could be about a specific game or something that happened in the gaming industry. We also don't want to just talk about our topics. We also want to hear the listener or the viewer, to chime in on our discussions. While during the middle of the discussion, Smitty will take a look into the chats, and then we'll bring y'all into it too. And or at the end of the discussions that we have on our three discussions, if you have just a question or a specific thing you want us to discuss about, go to the top of the page where it says CFG Gamecast, type in your question, and we'll put it at the end of the show. But other than that, Smitty, I think you were first last week, so it's only fair that I no, you know what? No, Sash, you go first.
Boom.
Me? Oh, hi. So,
Swerve. That's what happened.
what? It caught me off guard, man. Everyone's catching me off guard today. Did you guys see that picture that was posted? I was not ready for that
uh,
picture, but
Oh
anyways,
no. Oh
I am ready
no.
for this. No, it's funny. I think it's funny. It's okay.
what picture? What picture was posted? I gotta see
The
this
social media
now.
picture for this one is just funny. I'm like, I think I'm saying something, but it's not. It's not so obvious.
It kind of looked like a smile though. So I was like, I think it's good. I think we're good.
Are we taking a picture? Are we taking a picture smile? So now
Smitty's
you
like,
caught
this
me
is
off guard.
fine.
You caught me off guard. Everyone's caught me off guard. That's all right. That's cool. I'm gonna just get it over with. So you
Oh,
might have
that's
heard the
funny.
news. It is funny. So, and this is also kind of funny too. So you might have heard the news about a new game that's being crowdfunded. Hint, hint. I'm going to be talking about crowdfunding stuff too, to plug my stuff later. But for now, this game, and I'm really excited about this game because it sounds amazing. And
Oh no.
You cut out again.
Sorry.
Oh,
It should be
no.
good now. It should be good now.
Are we
It's good now.
too?
Okay, you're good.
So this crowdfunded game, I think it's still being crowdfunded, so you might be able to contribute, is it's called Peace Island, and you're on this island, and there are no humans, and you are one of many cats on this island trying to find out what happened, and just living on the island. It's amazing. You solve puzzles and there's mysteries, and I'm just so excited for it. Not only that, but it's in development for PC and Mac, which is cool. Oculus and VR. So this is going to be a VR cat experience.
Why
guys.
are you so happy about being a freaking cat just walking around the streets
You know
of San
what?
Francisco?
As gamers, we don't get to play as these cool creatures enough, or like just any animals. It's always humans. That's kind of boring. You could be whatever you need to be in these things. We should be playing as like octopus and squid and sharks and like, yes, those things do exist in a handful of games, but there could be more of them. And this is just an open world game as a cat on an island, and there's puzzles and mysteries, and it's being crowdfunded. Like all of it's just fun, cool stuff.
I'm sorry, you're way too hyped for this. I think personally, this is just like to me, this is like kind of like if someone's as hype as you are right now, it's kind of like the No Man's Sky kind of hype, the original No Man's Sky. Kind
No
of
way, no. That game was like you're gonna play, and then it's gonna be you playing and looking forever in the stars, just like the real space, and that's why we don't go there because it's too big and expansive and boring. But this is a cat. I don't know what the survival things will be for the cat. Maybe there's some kind of you have to go hunting, but you have a little pack. You have a little pride of cats with you, and it's supposed to be sci-fi and mystery and alternate history. Like
literally every photo that Smitty has just shown was the cat just sitting down. Like literally every photo just now was just the cat not even moving. He was just sitting.
There might be. I think there's one where it's looking at a sunset, so it looks really pretty. You know, like this. This just looks like a really fun little game, and I think it's just a nice little idea, and I think it's really cute too. I like that it's being. I'm like torn on like Kickstarter stuff because sometimes like, wow, this idea is so brilliant. Like, why the heck is the studio not funding it? And then other times it's like, wow, look how cool and how something could be made that wouldn't normally be made by a studio based on like a Kickstarter or like a crowdfunding thing. And I was curious.
How much? Do you know?
On this one, I think they have they've raised 13,000 of the time of this article that I pulled up, which was just sometime this week. So I'm sure it's gotten more since then, since I'm not the only one. I wasn't the first person within my network that saw it either. So it doesn't say how much they're going for just yet. I'd have to go look.
What'd you say, Smitty?
Was this I remember hearing about this too, and I remember people were talking. I can't remember if it was on social media or if it was at like an event or something like that they announced this game. But I remember thinking I was like, that seems kind of interesting. I don't know why, but it kind of does.
I'm looking now. So the Kickstarter says 13,000 pledged of 7,000 goals. So this game is going to be made, guys. They did it. They almost doubled the goal, which is great. Like that's a fun way to do it.
This game needs to be $5. This game needs to be, I swear, it needs to be like $5 or free because
I'm sure it's going to be fun.
This kind of game to say that you're going to donate in this, in my opinion, and I mean, I don't know if I've said this. I mean, I'm not personally a fan of Kickstarters, especially when it comes to making games, because
I'm going to blow your mind then, maybe, because I
looked at random thing. Very random.
Like it can be like I do think it's a random game, but I think it's I like the idea. I think it's very well suited for just a fun little game that's going to be like $5 to $10, depending on how long and how intricate like the actual puzzles are of the game. I could see it could be either way. It could be very boring, where like you're just looking at like not great graphics at like a really pretty scenery that just doesn't look great. Or it could be like just really fun and engaging, and then all that background and all that open world stuff is just there.
You should be bad. Like as a developer, you should be bad to be asking other people money to make a game like this, in my opinion, or any game like that. Because in my opinion, and I'm not saying, okay, so don't get me confused. I'm not saying that they shouldn't make a game, but I'm saying that like it's kind of like saying you want to make a game. Let's say you just want to make a toilet flushing game, but then you're going to have the public fund that money as opposed to you not raising the money on your own to do it. It's kind of like that kind of mentality to me. It just seems like really weird to me. It's like it's really off to me to say that you're going to try to get the money from the masses. if anything.
It's different though, like this one. Like this game looks like it does have like a purpose and a storyline and something that you can actually play through. And it doesn't look
Mhm.
like it's going to be one of those games where like it's going to be making money off of like microtransactions. It looks like it's
Right.
just going to be self-contained, probably $5-10 included in like, humble bundle kind of stuff sort of game. And as someone who's like crowdfunding too and who just doesn't have those ties or those connections, even though I have the capability of like, making a movie,
Mhm.
I'm sure it's very similar with these as well. Now there's some other games that are really interesting that are being crowdfunded or have been crowdfunded. And I pulled up some of the interesting ones because I want to talk about those too, because some of them like, okay, yeah, I see it, and other ones it doesn't quite make sense. So one of the ones, and I've heard amazing things about the first game. It's part of my backlog only because some very critical people have talked so highly of it. But Psychonauts.
Oh, yeah.
2, that one's being crowdfunded. Now, for me, it's different when something had like a studio beginning and then going to crowdfunding seems a little off and weird to me. The next one
Still is.
I'm naming
Yeah.
is like that too is Shenmue 3, which
Yeah, Shenmue's horrible.
I mean, I actually
Like,
really
I'm
love, I
saying-
actually really
no.
like Shenmue. Like a lot of people don't, but
No,
I can see
I'm
how
not
they
talking
were
about.
pumped.
No, I'm not talking about Shenmue as a game. I just think that the mentality of that is that they were backed by Sony. Like they
Right.
got money from people, and they also got backed by Sony. So now
Yeah,
that's a
like,
AAA
that
game.
blows
Yeah,
my, that
That
blows
is
my
crazy.
mind.
Yeah,
And like they announced it on the stage of E3. Like this was quite a few years ago, and like the series is very old, and it does, each of the games have taken a very long time in development. But yeah, like that one, I was like, guys, like you're making the third one, you're finishing the trilogy, you've already made 2 games in this series. Just give it the money to give it the ending it needs.
Right.
And
yeah.
like,
I mean,
like give them the
that-
money so
that
it can
kind of
actually be a
BS
game that's more appealing to more people too. Like I like the series, but I
that
can
kind of
see why
BS
others
never
is like
played
what
it.
they should need. Yeah, that's the kind of BS that I don't like is like about Kickstarter. And like I said, all this is not because of the game itself. I'm not talking about that. But
Right.
like when big business comes into Kickstarter like that, and they're asking for money, that's kind of like saying if Disney decided to say, "Hey, we're going to make our next next Disney movie, but we're going to kickstart that,
I'd
and
be
then we're going to
saying,
back
yeah,
that money
there's
out." And then they're going to keep all the money from the
Right.
profits that they get from that movie. It's like
Right.
you can't like that. That's basically just taking people's
Yeah.
money and walking away with it.
Well,
Shenmue
and
is just
it's
as
upsetting
worse.
too because like with Shenmue too, this is the 3rd game of the series. Like people do want this; they want the conclusion. So like you're kind of holding it ransom rather than just
Right.
doing the work for it, which is a really weird way to do it. But then there were 2 other games I wanted to bring up too that I think I don't know the details behind the backing of it or if there was anything else going on. But these were listed as Kickstarter games, and like wow, they are so fun. So one is Shovel Knight.
Mhm.
You guys ever played that
Yacht
one?
Club?
It's
Yeah.
just
I feel like I've heard of that before.
yeah. So it's
Shovel Knight
like
probably
you
the
can
most
play as these
popular
little
one, if
shovel.
anything.
Yeah, it was actually pretty dang popular because it was a multiplayer game. You could play as like 1 or 4 of them, and it was like the old NES era classics. It was a lot like Mega Man, like art and structure, but it was like all medieval. It reminded me of like Gauntlet Legends almost, but the playstyle wasn't like that. It was a side scrolling almost, or more so. But it was just
Yeah,
a
Shovel Knight's
really,
really
really fun, tight little game, and like it went on. I don't remember which crowdfunding campaign site they used for that one, but
Kickstarter.
they
Use
got their
Kickstarter.
funds and they made it. And there's this other game, is another VR game, and it's now like one of my favorite games. I played it back at my old place with my old roommates, and I highly recommend it. It's called Super Hot, which is this intense gunplay puzzle game that's like physical VR that simulates shootouts, and it's like Matrix levels of gun and knife fights. And you're
Yeah, Super Hot's pretty
playing,
tight.
and yeah, you physically control the slow motion with moving your body slower. And it sounds just so simple and weird and just boring, but it's not. Like it's
When
actually
you beat the
really, really,
stage.
really fun. Yeah,
Beat the stage,
that's like
It
like,
my.
looks
super
cool.
hot. Super
I had
hot.
no idea. Yeah. Yeah, like if you beat a stage, it's like super hot. Like it's the
Yeah.
stupidest name. The graphics kind of suck, but it's really cool because it feels like you're in like a actual intense training simulator. The
Yeah, the game
VR
is hard.
missions in Metal Gear Solid would look like this in real life. So. But
I'm fine with
it was really fun.
Yeah, no, I'm totally fine with with like super groups like Super Hot and Yacht Club to make especially
Right.
what's it called, because they were like it's kind of hard. It's kind of a hard thing for me to even just donate at all on Kickstarter because of this. But like were legitimately like, oh, they made the game, and then Yacht Club has been coming back every year, like showing their appreciation of their success to Shovel Knight. I mean, they made 4 chapters of Shovel Knight, really good chapters of it. So yeah, I mean, I'm not saying that all of Kickstarter is bad. I just don't like it when big business is mixed into it. It's like
Yeah, when
adjusting
it's big business, when I think Kickstarter,
Right.
there's some things that do just cost money to make money, and that's kind of the point of it. But if you're involved with a company that's already making money elsewhere, that's up to you if you want to invest in this project or not. So Shenmue, put it on hold if you're not ready to invest on it. Wait for fans to have demand for it. If you're scared it's not going to make money, don't take money from the fans to then just have them buy the game again when you're in a profitable company. That's really that's not cool to me. I don't think it's cool, but especially it's coming from someone like my crowdfunding thing. I am making users aren't making any money. There's no profit to be made, and so it's frustrating when others, especially big companies, are doing it specifically just to make profit when they're completely capable of spending the money.
Hey, I gotta cut you short because we are at 20 something minutes, but still, that's cool.
I am all done.
All right, good deal. All right, so the nice topic there. My topic is a topic to specifically see if Smitty will change his mind. So
This guy.
yeah, so as we know, back in March, you found out that Google's releasing a new platform, well, not platform, but a new way of gaming called Stadia. And they announced the pricing structure, I think a month after that, and the bundle and everything like that. So, but people's biggest issue was there wasn't people didn't really know fully how it works, and hell, I still kind of don't know how it still works. If you have games already that you already had, could you move it over or whatever? Like, how does it work? So people are kind of worried about that. This week, Google did a Q&A on Reddit with a big dude with one of the big wigs of it. His name is Andre Duranichev for Stadia. He's the product director, and he kind of put some pretty good information to a point where it's like, okay, it's not as bad as what one would think, because as of late, people were comparing Stadia to Netflix. Especially the pro platform is like, okay, you can rent a game out, then you can play, but you only have a certain period of time, and then boom, you're gone again. Excuse me. So the but he came out to kind of clear it out a little bit more. So he says, and this is a quote from him. To be clear, Stadia Pro is not Netflix for games, like some people mentioned. A closer comparison would be like Xbox Live or Xbox Live Gold or PlayStation Plus. The Pro subscribers get 4K HDR streaming, 5.1 surround sound, exclusive discounts, and access to some of their free games. Roughly one free game per month, give or take, starting with Destiny 2. So what he also mentioned was that that the way the free games will work will kind of play will be like the way PlayStation Plus works, which is specifically like if you when you could download it into your queue or download it into your account itself. Let's say you download it but you don't play it. Let's say you cancel your pro account, it will still be inside. It will still be inside your account. But during the time frame that you're down or that you're away, you won't have the available games that went through. Like, let's say that it was February's free game for the month of February, then you canceled for March, April, May. You'll still have February's free game when you come back, if you come back, but you won't have the months after that. And what the biggest thing that I was wanting to know was, how is it going to play if you already had games. He pretty much says that that you can still purchase, like, you don't have to do anything different on your purchasing of games on PC itself. So technically, so Smitty, like all your PC, like your PC games that are Stadia enabled will be compatible with Stadia, like Division 2, since you already started it, or Anthem, or and stuff like that, will be compatible directly to Stadia. The free version and the pro version, so you don't necessarily need a pro to get to have access to play with Stadia. Instead, Stadia is just more like the thing a pro is going to give you is the 4K and the 4K HDR and the other bells and whistles towards it. So
Right.
technically, you won't have to do anything. You wouldn't have
Yeah.
to do anything. So I think now since they kind of gave that explanation, it makes more sense to me. It's just that the regular version won't come out until next year. So the HDR version comes out in November. In November, and they didn't have a specific date on when the regular version is coming out. So with that information in mind, what do you think about it?
I mean, I don't know, man. Like you're. My thing is, so you have to buy. There's a hardware that you have to buy, right? That's the controller. The controller essentially.
You don't have to buy the controller.
Oh, sorry.
That's good.
So you don't have to buy the controller. So what? How do I use this then? Because you're essentially saying with the free version, I could just now on any TV or anything like that download the app and then play my games on there.
Okay, I will say this: if you're going to play it on your television, you probably need like a Chromecast or whatever to for you to be able to gain access to it. And
Do
the
you think
other
it'll be
thing
proprietary to?
well, yeah, I mean, because you'll need to find there has to be some sort of connection between Google and the box that it's connecting to. Because even the pro version itself is going to have comes with the Google Chromecast 4K and the controller itself. Now, you don't have to have the controller. The controller is going to be better connection wise, but you don't have to have it.
Right.
And also you need a Gmail account, obviously, or something like
Yeah.
that. Something
Yeah.
that's also Google related. So so I guess if you're wanting to play it on your PC the way you've been normally playing it,
Mhm.
I mean, I'm assuming it's browser play, but I don't know. I don't know yet. But for the most part, I don't think you need to do anything towards it.
I guess that's what I'm not really under. So why would you pay for it then for the free game? So like I could see then you're saying this service is free for people to use, you know, as long as you have, you know, the app or whatever. But if you want the extra bells and whistles and you want to be able to stream it on 4K TVs, here's a package that comes with a controller and a Chromecast to be able to do that. And then you're paying a monthly fee of roughly it's going to end up being like $129 a year, something like that, for the service.
Yeah, no. Okay, so think of it like this. Think of it like Hulu. Like Hulu has a free account, and then Hulu has the pay account. Like there's there's certain things you can watch on Hulu or Crunchyroll, whatever you watch. Certain ones besides Netflix, but certain ones you're able to watch your television show or whatever show because there's a spot there that's specifically allocated for that tier. But you're going to have commercials, you're going to have certain things and stuff like that. Now the way Stadia is going to work is that Stadia is going to have the free one, which is which will guarantee HD 1080 at a certain speed, depending on your speed of your internet connection, which I believe was I want to say 10, but I can't remember. Speed your speeds. But if you're wanting 4K, like if you're wanting 4K resolution while you're playing, they charge for that. It's just the top tier. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
So Stu in the Twitch stream, Stu Jersey X says, "I don't trust Google. What if they drop it like Google Plus if it's not profitable?"
You know, it's funny. That's exactly what I was thinking. I was actually thinking the same thing. That's a really good question. A really good point, Stu. there was a spot there. There was something on the QA. Let me see if I can find it. That was talking about what if Google does exactly what you just said. And they let me see if I can find it. So give me 1 second.
Sorry, you were going to say something, right, Sesh?
Yeah, like I think that's interesting. Like, I don't know if my mind is totally changed on it, but that sounds better. Knowing a little bit more.
Yeah, well, especially the fact with the free thing, because I wasn't sure. Like, again, you know, I was thinking about like why do you need the money? But if you're telling me it's a service I can use for free, I'm not going to have all the extras and this and that. But I mean, that to me is like, you just got to get people hooked. Then eventually they're going to give you the money. If you can show me on a free version that this is worth it, I'll throw the ducats at it. I got no problem with that. You know what I mean? But, you know, this actually kind of settles me down a little bit as far as with that, because I wasn't understanding. I was like, look, you're basically telling me pay for this new thing that can play the games that I already have. And I was like, I don't understand. I don't understand that. It doesn't make sense to me. It is really alluring, though.
Yeah, this does make a lot more sense.
Right.
You know what I think, and I think the biggest criticism, the biggest problem that they had, is like, I don't think that they relayed that information to the public correctly. And I mean, because like, I don't think that like the way that this has been with Stadia has been very, very bumpy, because it's very, because I don't blame anyone to be skeptical about what they're trying to do. And then plus what they say that they're trying to do is something that no one has ever done before. No one's ever seen that kind of the process of doing it before. So it's kind of like yeah, right. We'll see it when we'll see it until we believe it. You know, that kind of thing. So yeah, I can't find it, but I'll tell you what, Stu. I'll try to find it. But there was a really cool article about that, because they were saying, don't quote me on it yet, but they were saying that if something like that was going to be canceled or something, that their initial plan is going to be the 5 to 7 years. But I personally will say, like I said earlier, I'll see it till believe that. But if they don't allow you, but if it's not landlocked to just Stadia, that means that you have the game. I mean, so like, because like technically, let's say Division 2 will be on Stadia as well, and you can play it on Stadia, but it's going to be under your Uplay account. Like, so it's going to stay on your Uplay account, and same thing for your Origin accounts, your Steam, all this stuff. So I think Stadia will have and like I said, this is not what Stadia is, or because they still haven't really showed how all that works. This is just my thing. I think how it's going to work is that I think Stadia goes into the individual the accounts of like those kind of things, and then allows access from that point, like a key that says, okay, they own this game, and then play the version on the server on their server. So like there's going to be some sort of level of like a authentication or handshake that between your account with your account information. So I won't be surprised they'll say like, oh, you want to link your Gmail account with your Uplay Origins or something or whatever, and then they'll be like, okay, then those are probably the keys that'll give you the access to the to the certain games on Stadia.
That is pretty cool. All of that is like quite cool. I mean, unless you aren't using Gmail for some reason, and so I'm sure it's going to be weird email issues with that down the road, but. It does sound pretty cool, like being able to play some for free at least.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Like, so like the biggest thing is it's like, obviously you're going to have to wait, because we don't know when Stadia for regularly going to be coming out for everybody. But the big thing is going to be the 4K and all that nonsense that's going to happen here, I think, in the next two or 3 months. So, and I already got I got a copy too, so I'll let you know how it is. But yeah. So so looking forward to it. By the way, are you getting Borderlands on Borderlands 3 on PC?
I'll probably get it for PC. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna ask a question to the chat here, but I'll do it after the podcast, because I really want to know this, because it doesn't make sense to me. But okay, well I am done. Smitty, you go for it. Close this out, buddy.
All right, I'm going to do a little two-pronged thing, because somebody did say something about a different game. Okay. I wanted to start, however, with so we are in beta testing right now for this game. It's by Dawn Studios. It's called Gold Express. I talked a little bit about it on the last podcast that they had their first beta last week, and I really enjoyed it. They're super active in their Discord. They really listen to what the beta testers were saying. I kind of played a little bit when I was testing earlier, and they've made changes. You're able to do keybinds and stuff like that. I'm not sure as far as when this is coming out. Let me pull up the trailer here real quick as well. But yeah, it's a super cool game. It kind of reminds me, like I was saying before, it kind of reminds me of Dead by Daylight, kind of like a cyberpunk Dead by Daylight. You've got watchers versus extractors. You're basically trying to get these data cubes into these data centers, and that's what brings down these cars that you can then upload and get out of there. You've got one watcher that's going around trying to kill the extractors, as you can see in the trailer here. So it very much has a Dead by Daylight feel. It operates like it. It's, again, very early in their beta stages. They still have a lot of work to do. But it's been really positive. What I've played has been a lot of fun. They've got leaderboards and stuff like that. They're already talking about additions, like skins and stuff like that as they move forward with their development in this game. And right now they have it. Like I said, it's a 48-hour beta right now. If you go to their Discord, you can get a key. Everybody is free to get a key from there in their key me section and try it out. But it's fun to be able to, especially like earlier in a game's development, being able to be a part of that. Something that I've already, I'm a fan of Dead by Daylight. I like I don't remember what the other one is. But I enjoy that as well. So this game is definitely,
Death Garden.
Death Garden, yeah, that's what it is. Death Garden,
Oh, yeah.
Games like that. Yeah, I don't know why I forgot it. It's been a little bit, but games like that. If you enjoy games like that, I think you'll enjoy this game. Gold Express. It's a lot of fun. Again, their studios and their people have been really responsive in the Discord and taking feedback and stuff like that. So it's really nice. It's always a good feeling when you play a game that you enjoy and then you're able to, interact with the people that are developing it, and they're taking your feedback and taking, it's good. You can see that they're really taking care of this. The graphics look gorgeous. They're still smoothing out some of the mechanical things and stuff like that. But, I got to say, I was quite impressed. And it was randomly, I think they randomly hit me up maybe on Twitter or something like that. And, I saw something. Huh?
They hit you up specifically?
I can't remember if it was, it might have been like they had posted like a general thing or something like that. And like either that or they hit me, or they were just finding profiles of people, streamers and stuff like that, and said, hey, you want to try out this new game? Come join the Discord, yada, yada, yada.
Man.
So
that's very engaging. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're very much about it. I believe the studio is, I want to say it's out of France. I could be making that up, but something is making me, especially just being in their Discord and stuff like that. I see there's people speaking French. One of the languages is French. French. I'm a jackass.
Come on, man.
No,
you gotta culture yourself.
I don't English so well. But, the game it's a lot of fun, and the fact that they heard their first beta was only 12 hours, which they saw that just wasn't enough time. And people, once you started playing, it's like, look, dude, I'll play this shit. I'll play it all day and all night, no problem. Again, if this is the type of game that is your speed or something that you generally enjoy about the mechanics or these types of games, it'll definitely be worth your while taking a look at it and doing some playing.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
It looks really cool.
Well,
yeah.
I have a question though. Is it as confusing as what you have to do with all the stuff you have to do in Death Garden? Like, is there a lot of stuff that you have to do in this one? Like, because there was so much stuff. I was like, I didn't even understand what was going on. It was
well, I think that's a challenging thing about games like this too. There's not a lot, you know what I mean? Like there's very minimal buttons that you can push. It's not a very like intensive, like you got to do all this and get in and into the weeds. Like once you figure out what the general mechanics are, it becomes everyone can play it. Anyone can play a game like this, and that's what I really like about it. Is
fine. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, like the simplicity of it is perfectly fine. But I'm talking about like in Death Garden, like y'all were climbing walls. There were so many objectives. I didn't understand why are y'all doing all of this? But
there's really only two objectives in that game though.
Oh,
Get
there was
the blood,
like
deliver the blood.
Oh, okay, because there was some extra stuff y'all were doing. I thought there was something else
That just gives
y'all
you
were
extra
doing,
like
too.
XP and stuff. Yeah. So like, or you had like a
side
challenge or
quest,
something like
basically.
that. Yeah, to like level up like one of your skills or something like that.
Oh, okay. I was like, what the heck is he doing? Like, why is he? Yeah. So there's no like side objectives in this one that like that, right? There's like it's
Not
simple,
right now.
right?
Not right now. That might be
Okay.
something that they do, and I could see that. I could see that being the thing too. I mean, even in Dead by Daylight, you'll have your like daily things where like get 5 kills with the nurse, or you know what I mean. So I could see something like that, but just not as. It just seemed confusing because it was a newer game, and you know, I mean, you're still kind of trying to figure everything out. So I totally know what you're talking about. That's how I feel still kind of with this game. I'm still not completely, but I read some of the stuff, so I have a better understanding as to what we're doing, why we're doing what we're doing, and whatnot. Once you get that, the mechanics of it are easy. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that
So
sounds pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
You
that
know, I
sounds
mean, like,
really fun.
yeah, I
yeah.
saw watch. Yeah, I saw you play it a little bit, and I was like, oh, this looks pretty fun. Especially when you were just like when like 3 times the guy led you to the dude that was trying to kill y'all.
Oh,
I was like,
dirty.
what is going
So
on?
dirty. Yeah, no,
You
I
just
played
wonder-
one of
yeah.
the Watchers earlier today, and it was hard. It was really hard.
Yeah.
But I like
And then I like-
being
I
instructor
liked
was
that
fun.
Oh yeah, and I liked that you turned around and just did it to someone else. And I was like, oh man, is this what this game is about? You're just trying to snipe kill each other?
Yeah,
So,
right.
very funny.
So also we had somebody in chat here, Potteraki Donato Ceres, sent me a link over to wanted to talk a little bit about Baldur's Gate 3. I don't know if you guys, I haven't really seen, and I remember Baldur's Gate from my brother would play Baldur's Gate. How old are you?
Same.
What? You guys don't need to see that. Okay. You can't see that. So clearly there's some graphic stuff in this, I believe. So just a fair warning. I got to get through the ad here. But yeah, I remember my brother playing this game. I think he played Baldur's Gate 2 maybe. I never really got into them, but I know they have a very like D&D feel and whatnot.
Yeah. Yo, no, I mean, I saw the preview of it at E3, and that game it looks tight. The game plays a dungeon kind of game, so it's kind of like a Diablo-ish kind of thing, but like the ones that came out on the ones that came out, the original ones, the Baldur's Gates and the Baldur's Gates that came out 1 and 2 was on PS2 back in the day, and I'm looking forward to this game because the cool thing was the gameplay, the story was tight, the like just everything was so fun, and especially when you played with a team, like a multiplayer team. Even back in the day, it was really like it was even more challenging to get it, but man, it was you could literally play for hours. So yeah,
Holy
if your brother,
shit.
yeah,
The trailer
so like,
is insane.
yeah. Now when you got the graphics in this, it's like, ah man. So yeah, this is gonna be a tight game, I will say. I am really really glad that they're bringing it back. Oh yeah.
Wait, so
No,
what is the story? Because watching you're playing the trailer here in stream, watching the trailer, and so Cthulhu much?
Oh yeah, I know, right? Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be dude. The game is like, if you know what I hope that they bring back the old school Baldur's Gates. I don't really remember the story that well, but yeah, the game is gonna, but because it's been a while, it's been like 15 years. So, but the gameplay is what was fun. The monsters that you were fighting, I guess they're putting more Lovecraftian stuff in it with what we just saw. So
Right.
that's gonna be that's gonna be fun. So I'm assuming Padaraki Donato Saris plays that kind of stuff, and if he does, that's gonna be cool. And guess what, Smithy? That's also gonna be on Stadia.
Okay, well, I'm getting sold.
Touche. Yeah, that looked good. I mean, I would check that out for sure.
I mean,
Wow.
and
Yeah,
all the
definitely.
horror games, like yep. Transformation stuff, cool. Yeah, body horror, yeah, let's play.
Yeah, those dungeon games are really great. I love those kind of. I mean, well, not all of them, but I really did love those games. Like Diablo's, obviously. Diablo 2 is up there, obviously. Torchlight, all those kind of games was like this. But Baldur's Gate was probably, I would say, would be the good second place to what Diablo is. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. Yeah, I don't know if they had a release date on that yet. I'm assuming it's next year. So
let me.
Yeah, I'm curious about that. Oh, and also, what was the release date again on Borderlands?
Borderlands 3 is in
That's
September.
right?
Yeah, too soon for me. No, because I started my game in the second one, and then it was on my old one, my old PC, and so I've lost the game data for that one. Unfortunately, I don't know why it wasn't doing cloud then, or whatever happened to it, but I'd have to play 2 again.
Yeah, I have to play 2.
Really
Period. I never played it.
It doesn't look like there's a release date. The release date's still TBA with it.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's September 13th for Borderlands 3. It's kind of sucks because I'm going to be in Japan during that time, so it's just like so I would have to wait till like.
Tell you what, if I get through the Metal Gears fast enough, that could be my next game, and then Smitty could level us up real quick. How's that?
I know, right?
That's true. I mean, I'm not even that high of a level yet. I'm like mid-20s.
You'll be a master in September.
Yeah,
no, I'm talking about Borderlands 3, man.
Oh, you're talking about the Borderlands 3?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, I know my way around now a little bit. Like I definitely feel a lot more comfortable navigating in that world.
The one thing I remember with that game is I didn't like the menu systems at all in that. Like there was just a lot of inventory stuff, and I remember not being a fan of that. Like it definitely held me up somewhat.
Yeah, I mean, there was a little bit. Well, I just think the overabundance of different kinds of guns can kind of oversaturate you. Can kind of like overwhelm you.
No, dude, that's the best part though. But I'll take that over like say an Anthem where it's like, oh, I got the same 5 guns over and over and over and over and over and over.
I hate that too. I can hate both.
No, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm just saying that the game. I mean, for me, I don't throw away anything, and it's hard for me to like it's overwhelming me when I like say, should I get rid of this? I mean, this is an 892, and then this one's an 879, but this one has frost damage, while this one has fire damage. Then I kind of justify myself, like, oh, what if I fight something that's weak against fire? And like, like it kind of like that. Then the inner conversation, like inner monologue of you're just like trying to figure it out. Like, should I or should I not?
There's like too many different options for too many different enemies, too many slightly different guns that don't really make a big difference. Like I do like it in games where like you start off with one and then like, okay, they do like a couple of different things. So there's just a base level of like what each gun does, what each weapon does. And then there's just like 1 to 2 upgrades of each of those throughout the game. And that's it.
Right.
Now, I don't want to play games with like 50 different types of guns. They all do slightly different things.
I'm fine with the 50 different kinds of guns. I'm just saying that's just a knock on me. That's not a knock in the game because the game is fun as hell. I'm just saying it's kind of like Skyrim. Like I can't play Skyrim because I am just 100% klepto in that game. Like I just like because if I go into the game, I go in, I look at the books and like, oh, you can actually read the books. Then it's like, oh, I need to finish reading this book, but this guy has a bookshelf, so I'm gonna take all his books and steal them just to take them, and then eventually try to read them. And so I go absolutely nowhere in that game. So
so much stuff to do. See, I don't want so much stuff to do in my inventory. I want it to just like be there and be a bag, and be able to find and access the things I need when I need them, depending on the gameplay. That's it. That's it. I don't want anything else. I hate when inventories fill up. That's always annoying. It can be a little fun and a little added to like the gameplay, like. Like I'm used to it in like Resident Evil, for example. Definitely got used to that. But when it's inventories that fill up or there's like thousands of items you're collecting, like in RPGs, I hate that. It's like, just let me hold an infinite number.
Yeah, I don't mind that kind of stuff. Yeah, it's just like it tries to teach you to manage, but it's like, no, I can't do this. Like I got to get everything. I need to get all the stuff.
Yeah,
still.
I totally feel you on that. Well, that's why I have such a hard time too with open world games, because there's so much stuff to do. Like, I try to focus just on the main storyline, maybe veer off and do a side mission here or there. But like, if I try to do otherwise I'll try to do everything, or I'll get, I forget what I'm supposed to be doing, and it just takes me forever to get through the games. And then I just stop playing them. Is what happens. That's like ESO, dude.
Yeah.
ESO, I just, it's too much.
The Witcher 3, like, it took me 3 years to beat, because like I did everything. It took me 3 years.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Wow,
the side stories. Yeah, there's a lot of side, because like at one point in time I was really gung ho about it, but then you get to a point where it's just like you're doing so much, but you feel like you're going nowhere because there's so much out this. Like, that map is so filled with stuff. Yeah, so like I decided to take a break. So I played it in breaks. Like, I played it like in breaks of like a couple of months, and then it's like, oh, okay, I'll eventually do it. But I platinumed that game. Like, that game was so good. Like if people are all hyped about Breath of the Wild, if you like Breath of the Wild, you'll love Witcher, because Breath of the Wild is basically Breath of the Wild is basically an empty version of The Witcher 3. That's what it is.
Shell.
That's what it is. It's a shell. It's exactly a shell. Just like it was so much mass, but there was but the level of side stories, the level of different kinds of things. It's just like it is straight up a shell of what The Witcher was. Like, someone put the infrastructure. It's like, okay, let's add 4 bosses here and there, and then boom, go to the end. But no, you would love. I guarantee, if you loved Breath of the Wild, you would love 3.
I am still loving Breath of the Wild. I still haven't finished that. My Switch is probably one. So. You still haven't gotten it? I love Zeldas.
I'm doing the Metal Gear stuff now, so it's gonna be that.
I refuse to buy a Zelda game again.
Oh no, I totally want to buy it. I love. Oh man, like, they've gotten such a great art style now, and they're doing a sequel to it, which is not very common in Zeldaverse.
Right.
Non-technically or technically, I don't know how you want to, because timeline wise it's all basically one timeline that splits off if you really want to get into it, but technically there are no sequels.
Right.
The timeline of Zelda is
there's only a couple.
That's what that is.
The timeline it's all over. It is all over the place.
No, well, it's like multiple links, and there's multiple. Oh, I do show you a link after this, Smithy, because you'll be like, there's a guy who made fun of did an explanation of its timeline through Back to the Future, and you'd be like, oh my god, it's like, this is terrible. Like, what is this?
Basically, it's like basically different timelines, like based somewhat kind of like Back to the Future ideas, and then also it's like it all is just so far apart. It's basically just everything all dies and then comes back, and history repeats. Like, it's like that much time is
that's why I hate Zelda.
Between each of the games. Like, it's not even they're not even connected. It doesn't even matter.
Wait, but you like Battlestar, but do you like Battlestar Galactica?
Me
or him?
Yes. Him.
I don't even know. I never watched Battlestar Galactica.
What are you talking about? You've never seen a series about the newer one?
Never saw Battlestar Galactica.
Oh my gosh, we are ending stream right now. We're gonna start it right now. You have got to.
We might be doing that because the guy on it is obsessed with it, and I feel very similar to it with how I do with Game of Thrones. Like, it is so freaking good and brilliant and smart, and like just pushing the genre in all the great new directions. And then it kind of stops doing that and kind of falls off the wagon, but still worth watching. But oh god, does it get bad?
Okay, we're clearly veering off, so we should close this up right now, and we'll talk about that.
Battlestar gets bad. That's what I'm saying.
But, everyone, thank you for watching podcast episode number 15 of CFG Gamecast. You can always check us out on Saturdays, and we will release for podcast services on Monday. You can also check out Smitty's channel, Smitty2447. Smitty, what are you going to be streaming? Assuming the beta or that beta game?
Yes, I'm going to be playing Gold Express this whole weekend probably.
Awesome, great. Check it out at Smitty2447. Sesh is going to probably be doing some more Metal Gear Solid. I think you're on Metal Gear Solid 2 right now, right?
Yep, I got my technical issues solved, and I'm going to be playing Metal Gear Solid 2 next to help crowdfund and campaign for my Metal Gear Solid short film.
Awesome, great, yeah. So definitely check it out, and also check out the short films. Indiegogo, yeah, is it Indiegogo? I don't think it was
It's
Indiegogo. Was it?
Indiegogo.
It
Here, I'll
is.
pop a link in.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
oh yeah. There we go. Also, I was going to say, it's funny. I was just thinking about it. Do you know that they released an HDMI cable for PlayStation 2, HDMI cable for PS2 that allows you to connect to your Elgato?
No, I
Really?
did not. I saw
Yeah,
something about the
Oh.
64 getting that though.
Yeah, they already have that. It's actually it's funny. Like they have them for the Dreamcast. I can show you the link. It's called the name of the company is called Hyperkin, and
That's awesome.
they
Amazing.
yeah it's like $40. Or no, it's like $20. So yeah, check it out.
That's not bad.
Dude,
And-
I still have PS2 games like that I should be playing. Like this one is MGS2, obviously, is technically, but like there's other ones I got that I need to play.
yeah. Oh god, there's a good amount of library, especially if you don't want to do that stupid BS with PlayStation Now. Anyway,
I don't.
and yeah, no one does. And you can check out my CFG games. We have a group of streamers on my channel. We're actually in about the next 30 minutes. We're going to be doing a playthrough of Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3 for the first time with a group of us. And on the beginning of the week on Mondays, we do Monster Hunter Mondays. So play with anyone who likes to play Monster Hunter on the PS4. So definitely join in on that. But everyone, thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time. Oh, and the guy who says I look like D1 Deadly, this one's for you. Testify. Okay.
Wow.
Yes, that's what's up. Hell yeah.
Oh my gosh. Oh boy.
Hell yeah. That's what's up. That's what's up.
That's freaking hilarious. Dude, like but he looks like hey, I get those nerd glasses, that's all true. Man, those boys are tight.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I was just like, wait, at first I was like, wait, who's that? And I was like, oh, yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome. Hell yeah.
Yeah. No one was expecting that.
Yeah. Got him.
Yep. Got him.
See, we boofed the audience as well. You surprised them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bamboozle
Like I
was the
said,
word I'm looking for, not
bamboozle.
bamboozle.
So like the previous like I was gonna say, so what's it called? Shenmue 3 is now gonna be on or no, Shenmue 3. Yeah, Shenmue 3 and Borderlands 3, all that stuff going on the Epic Store. I don't understand. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, what do y'all think? Like, can someone tell me like why it's a problem for it to be an exclusive on the Epic Store? I mean specific, like, because I guess I don't understand the anger from it. Is where it is, and I'm trying to understand it because to me, like for Epic for them to show to be asking, to be asking for people asking for refunds because it's on Epic Store and stuff like that. It's like I guess I guess I don't understand. Like, is there a problem with the quality of it, or is it just the fact that it's Epic? It's Epic themselves. Like, why are people upset about it? Like,
Hadaraki says the Epic Store is trash. Simple.
Yeah, well, like, what makes it trash is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, that's how I felt too. I was like, I don't have an issue with it. Like,
people hating on it, like just because they have the game that's so popular, and like if you don't like Fortnite, then it's everywhere, and that's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, that's
literally the only reason they hate on it, because they hate like one particular game that they've made, and it's very popular, so they probably see it a lot. Like, it's fine. To be honest, I thought it like actually brought in some more competition to that space.
You know what I mean? And then that's going to make other people have to step up their games, especially if they're getting exclusives of good games. You know what I mean?
That's
At least that's how I felt about it.
too, personally. No, I totally agree with you because I thought the same way. Because the thing that Epic did bring to like gaming on PC are Fortnite players. Oddly enough, ironically enough, are Fortnite players because people who just know of Fortnite, they did this. They were saying that they added because of that they added a large amount of new people into playing different games. You know, like they weren't playing on that. This was playing on happening, but yeah, but I guess it's like is people just not liking the fact that it's the exclusivity because the exclusive deals that they have to do on it, but like because well, Stu, let me ask you because you say like you don't get it either, but like are you impartial? Like if Borderlands 3 comes out on the Epic store and but it's just on the Epic store, would that turn you off on buying that game? And like, or do you care? Like, do you even really care about like that level? I mean, I'm just wondering because and you could say that you hate Fortnite, and I hate Fortnite too. I really do hate Fortnite. Yeah, I don't hate it.
I don't hate it. I like Save the World though.
I do like Save the World too. Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah, but like, I mean, I don't understand that. Like, why? Because of the popularity of the game to be like to for you to hate the developer of it. It's like, and then say no because that y'all made this game. I guess I don't get it. You know. And I'm not judging anybody. I'm just saying.
I mean, like for me, it's like I mean, I have been like upset, I guess, at companies before when like there's something released and I just find it really overrated, and I don't get hyped for the next thing. But that's like. But
here's a good example.
It's so different because
but they're not even releasing it though. They're just have it on their store or in their platform or whatever, so, on their client.
It's like. Yeah, so it's like it's too much. Like you're hating it too much just by association. I feel like, I can get not necessarily liking Fortnite. I happen to like it, but I could see it, with like I could see it being considered like overrated, by people.
Okay.
Like I
and I think that, Pataraki makes a good point too with the community and the age of the community too. There's a lot of little kids that play it. Which for us adults that could be off-putting and not enjoyable.
Yes.
So it's like I totally get that part as well.
But here's a good example. People don't like EA because the reason why they don't like EA is because they make a shoddy product. That's because that's what it is. Because it's like when people think of EA, they think of microtransactions. They think of no length of the game quality. Games. Yeah, on full price games and stuff like that. It's not because of a one game that they made. It's just that's the pattern that they have put to themselves for years. So people don't like EA for that. But like when it comes to Epic, and then Epic is like the engine that people use, like the Epic inside their games, and then they're deciding to make an Epic store for their and trying to bring people in on it. It's like I guess I'm not understanding like what is Epic doing something besides making Fortnite? I mean,
I think it's fine. Like it's just the client, and they don't charge for the client. Like that's great. That's fantastic. And if they're making their own games too, and using that so that they can do more things for other game developers that want to use them as a client, I think it's great. Like I don't. If Steam wants to compete and if there's going to be any like real differences between like just the clients, then we might see those. But right now it's fine. Like you just use either. Like it's great both ways.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I'm totally impartial. Like, I'm totally impartial. But I mean, if it's the game I'm wanting to play or it's the game I'm looking for, like Borderlands 3, I'm definitely going to get. But
it's kind of funny now. A lot of games are like, like watching a movie on like Netflix or something because it's like, wait, is it on Netflix? Yeah. Is it on Hulu? Is it on Amazon Prime? Like, where do I find this thing that I want to watch, or where am I going to find this thing that I want to play? So it's just another option for that. That's not complicated or bad or anything different than the others. It's just another of the same.
I was just wanting to kind of just wonder. I'm just wondering about it because I hear it all the dang time. It's really funny to me because when I see it, especially on social media, especially on Twitter. Twitter is like I don't know if I'll say out loud. Twitter. Yeah, Twitter is just.
I see the craziest shit on Twitter, dude.
yeah, Twitter is crazy, but like overall, like I mean, the level of disdain of Epic is interesting to me, and I'm just like, what do they like? Are they that bad? Are they like are they
killed
like
Paragon? That's
is this
why.
a problem?
Because they killed Paragon to support Fortnite. That's why I'm pissed at them. I love Paragon, dude. That game was fun.
Paragon was a good game. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. It's true.
Yeah, but I mean, again. No, go ahead.
At least it's not like what's it called, Steam, when they decided to say, "Hey, we're not like we're doing so good with Half-Life 2, and I know everyone wants to get Half-Life 3, but we're not going to make any games anymore because we don't have to, because of everyone else is done. Everyone else is paying us to promote their games, you know. So yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, and yeah, and don't get me wrong. I mean, people don't like Epic, and that's fine, and people don't like Epic games, and that's also fine. Like, I mean, no Padaraki doesn't like Epic games. That's perfectly. I'm cool with. I'm totally down with that. But like, I get. So I guess I can see why you wouldn't want us to promote that. That makes sense. That does make sense. But like, I guess the level of hatred is where I'm not understanding. Like, why is people so angry about this? About like, oh, I can't believe we're doing the exclusive on this thing. I don't know if people I don't think people may also hate Epic themselves. Epic themselves though too. It's just I just people saw this exclusivity, and then they're on that bandwagon saying, hey, screw Epic and all that stuff. But no, I don't know. But that's cool. I mean, okay, that's that's just what's on my mind when I was thinking about it. I was like, why are people like doing that? But no, I'm glad. Thank you for not going crazy. Yeah, that's all I was wanting to know, because like it's hard to kind of dealing with like that kind of conversation and have people be like trying to force their opinions on people. But no, appreciate it, guys.
Yeah,
I don't want to client which
sure.
their top game is played by 7 to 10-year-olds.
Yeah, no, I think that makes sense, and that's definitely a very valid complaint. But I think they're going to be expanding and branching out, so that's not going to be the case anymore. So I think the future is going to be a little bit it's going to be a little bit better for them later on.
Well, yeah, I mean,
agree.
But yeah, if people allow them to, I mean,
yeah,
it's like, come on, like the reason why they're doing these moves is because they're trying to compete with Steam. I mean, like, because remember, you're at a point right now. If you are not on Steam, if Epic wasn't there, if you're not on Steam, you're dead. You're dead in the water. If you're a small PC developer. So they're wanting to change that platform. They have to do stuff that's going to be enticing towards Steam. And Epic is not trying to beat Steam. They're just trying to make them change their policies. That's the biggest thing. It's like the biggest thing was like they're wanting to see if Steam will change to that match that break that they're doing between developer and gamer, or a developer and publisher, like that. So if they do, then to compete, and like Smitty said earlier, competition makes people better. And then I think this kind of thing is going to definitely make both sides somewhat better. Both sides better. I mean, because it sucks when you only have one option. It always sucks when you have very limited options, because they get complacent. There's no reason. It's like, oh, where are you going to go? To us?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you basically create a monopoly.
Yeah, essentially. I'm actually surprised they didn't consider themselves to be a monopoly. I mean, I guess you don't, since you have all these other crappy. Well, I won't say crappy. Like since you have the ones like GOG and all these other smaller ones, but they're nowhere near the size as Steam is. So yeah, but yeah. So I mean, we'll definitely see in the near future. I think I think we'll see how the true ties are going to be later on. Is a bigger thing too, because they're just new at the gate of all of this.
Right.
So that's crazy. All right. Well, I got to cut it short. We got to get ready to a stream. But hey, everyone, thank you for stopping by. We will definitely come back again next week on my channel. So definitely stay tuned on CFG Games, and we will see y'all